It's like a rotisserie chicken. It's rotisserating. Strangely, there's no title on this one, but this one's going to be talking about Nathaniel Northwest, the supposed founder of the town. Now this one's not going to be too difficult. It's going to be just 2 small drawings and a good amount of writing, but nothing compared to the last page. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and patch up that little mishap, and to patch it up, I'm just going to use a cream color acrylic. And I'm going to go over it about once or twice, just a light wash. Now here's going to be my main concern for this page. Last time when I got that edge wet, the blue ink started smearing. So I'm going to be really careful while weathering this edge, and I'm going to dry it relatively quickly because I don't want to give it any time to try to seep over to the opposite page. So once I add a small layer all the way through, I'm going to immediately take it over and dry it with the hairdryer as quickly as I can. And luckily, I didn't see any issues. Yep, that looks pretty good. For the rest of the page, none of it actually seems to seep through. It's only those little edges that I gotta worry about. And since I know there's no ink on the top or the bottom of the page, I can go ahead and weather it as I need without having to worry about that previous page. I'm just gonna take a real quick look at this, make sure nothing spilled over. And yeah, that's still looking pretty nice. Now for Nathaniel, we're just gonna add a little bit of a light brown to his shoulders, and we're gonna go ahead and try to add a couple layers to that. That'll just bring some added depth to it. And then for the background, we're going to add a little slight variation of that brown. Going to add a tint of yellow to that one. And to add a little more separation to this drawing, I'm going to be adding white acrylic to all the facial hair and a little bit of that hat. This will just help keep those drawings very consistent with all previous ones. And we're going to be doing the same to that bottom drawing as well. Now, we're not going to be adding any white acrylic to the skin area, and that's just so I can have a really nice contrast between the two. Now for this drawing, I can go ahead and use a thicker pen. And I'm thinking about using probably the 08, probably down all the way to 04. That way I can hit all the high spots and a little bit of those nice smaller details, especially where it says his name, Nathaniel Northwest. You see right there, I didn't leave enough room for it. Now it's a little hard to zoom in because the camera quality is a little low, but I didn't leave myself enough room to fully write out his name, but this is an easy fix. To remedy this, I'm just going to add a little bit of white acrylic on the edge and push out that banner just enough for one more letter. And then from there, I can go ahead and touch up all the darker spots with just a little bit of gouache paint. And then I'm just going to repeat that process for the drawing on the bottom right here. And this one doesn't need too much detail for it, as the main focus is going to be the drawing on top. And just so that we keep that consistency, I'm going to use that red Sharpie to do the symbols on the side. And then from there, we can go ahead and write out the full message. And what's being written out is basically Ford talking about the Northwest and how much power that they have. And just how he's come across a few bizarre laws relating to woodpeckers during his research of the town. Now once I'm done writing everything out, I am going to come back around and weather that page one last time. There's just a few spots that I feel like I missed. And then once I go ahead and dry that one last time, the drawing is now complete. Overall, I really liked how Nathaniel on the top corner is just kind of staring at you and seems like he's really judgy. And it's a really nice simple page coming off the last two. Can't believe I haven't bought one of these sooner. This thing is so cool.